Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to stand up for these kids and we want to be able to give them a voice. We advocate for children first. And this is a story that really pains me to talk about because nothing is worse than a baby being abused. But I think something that could be equally comparable, maybe even a little bit worse, depending on how you guys see it. But I think it's even worse when a child is disabled. When a child is disabled, it has even more challenges, it needs even more help, and is even more desperate than the average kid, okay? And that's the story of this little boy here. And I want to tell you guys this story. There's a 24-year-old Missouri man that has been accused of beating to death his girlfriend's 5-year-old son. Hashtag mom's boyfriend, hashtag momsboyfriend.com, because I believe that momsboyfriend.com actually did either one of these stories or both of these stories that we're getting ready to talk about, okay? But this little boy was blind and developmentally disabled. Blind and developmentally disabled while the child's mother was away giving birth. You guys heard that correctly. This disabled boy was left at home with mom's boyfriend, and the mom was away giving birth. I know that is a lot to hear all at one time, but I'm going to do my best to try to explain it all the way through, okay? Now, Jamarion Delancy was identified as the child set upon by the individual. Let me see if I can get his picture back up on the screen. This individual's name is Yoshua Dallas. Yoshua, Y-O-S-H-U-A-H, last name Dallas, last week, leaving him with deep internal injuries, according to the St. Louis County investigators. Now, an autopsy showed that the little boy, Jamarion, died of blunt force trauma to the abdomen, resulting in a lacerated liver and a broken rib, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports. How many stories this year have we done? Matter of fact, you could even just look just since the summertime of children who have been hit really hard in the stomach, lacerated spleens, lacerated livers, broken ribs. It seems like we're doing these stories so often that it's really hard to determine which story is which. And I know a lot of you that have been watching for a long time, if this is your first time watching, when you come in, please click the thumbs up. It will help share our story, share the story of this little boy who I believe needs to have his story told, and we need to have more justice for these babies every single time something happens, because we have to start curbing this thing really quickly, because these babies depend on us. And if nobody else is going to be there, and if nobody else is going to care, I think we need to. That's why we have the AFC. That means we advocate for children first. The mother's boyfriend has been charged with abuse or neglect of a child resulting in death. Now, according to an online fundraiser started by the St. Louis County Police Association over the weekend, Jamarion's mother, by the name of Ananye, and let me see if I can get her face up on the screen. That is her Facebook page that currently doesn't have much of anything on it. But I think I have a picture of her, which is, this is the mother. That's Ananye. And according to her, Jamarion was, Jamarion's mother, Ananye, was hospitalized last Tuesday after she went into labor with her third child. Now, how many of these children belong to the boyfriend is yet to be seen. I'm just going to assume that this child, Jamarion, was not his. So the other children, I'm not sure. We're just going to assume that the one that she's pregnant with and giving birth to is the boyfriend's kid. But nowadays, it can be a little bit convoluted. Now, let's talk about the mom placing trust in the boyfriend, because I've told you guys, it's one thing for the mom to like a man and sleep with a dude just because you find him attractive, you like this type of individual, but it's a whole nother thing for this individual to be a good candidate to be a babysitter or a caretaker of a child. Just because you like having sex with him, ma'am, don't mean he's going to be good with kids and do the best by these children. Hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from on that. Jamarion and his 7-year-old sister, Micaiah, were left in the care of Joshua Dallas in the 1700 block of Chiquita Terrace in North St. Louis County. The following morning, Joshua Dallas took the gravely injured boy, who showed no obvious signs of trauma or injuries, to St. Louis Children's Hospital. Several hours later, the boy was pronounced dead. Now, an investigation revealed that Jamarion sustained devastating blunt force trauma to include a lacerated liver and intestine, a broken rib, and bruising to his face and inside his mouth, the fundraiser stated. These injuries caused significant internal bleeding and were the cause of this little boy's death. Matt Creelis of the Fraternal Order of Police told Fox 2 Now that Jamarion's older sister was at home at the time of the attack and suffered emotional trauma. So what that means is that one of the other kids saw this happen to her baby brother. Isn't that something? That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Now, according to the police union, Jamarion was blind and had limited mobility, requiring the use of braces on his legs. Jamarion had no way to defend himself against the suspect's attack, the statement read. Now, Joshua Dallas had allegedly admitted to being Jamarion's caretaker in the hours leading up to his hospitalization. He is being held in the St. Louis County Justice Center on a $250,000 cash bond, and the Police Association's fundraiser as of Tuesday night had raised $41,000 of a $50,000 goal in donations. Now, Jamarion's death has left an impact on members of the St. Louis County Police Department, and we feel compelled to do more, especially at a time of year when families typically gather and celebrate the holidays, the organizers of the campaign wrote. Bookmark that, because I'm going to come back to it, because I got a lot to say about the police and the police helping these people and how we in society view the police. I have a lot to say about that. But let me show you guys the news videos first. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Here we go.
Good evening, and first on Fox, a shocking, horrific crime in North St. Louis County moved police to help the mother of the victim.
Police say a 5-year-old boy with special needs was killed by his mother's boyfriend while she was in the hospital. Fox 2's Rocky Madden is live with more on how officers reacted. Rocky.
Sandy, the Fraternal Order of Police here in St. Louis County have opened a GoFundMe account for the little boy's surviving family. Neighbors who live in the 1700 block of Chiquita Terrace in North County are stunned by what police say happened Thursday.
I'm actually kind of shocked because it's usually pretty quiet over here. I mean, you might hear somebody arguing here or there, but you don't really hear anything like that.
24-year-old Joshua Dallas is charged with 1 count of abuse or neglect of a child resulting in death. Jamarion Delancy's mom was hospitalized giving birth, and police say Dallas was babysitting Jamarion and used blunt force trauma to kill the boy. The youngster suffered a lacerated liver, a broken rib, and bruising to his face. Jamarion could not defend himself because he is blind and has leg braces.
This one really kind of hit our detectives hard, and we're glad we can help out. We hope the community can support us in that as well.
The Fraternal Order of Police started a GoFundMe page for Jamarion's family to help pay for the boy's funeral, medical expenses, and other things.
His 7-year-old sister unfortunately was home at the time of the incident. So there's definitely be some trauma that she's going to have to process. The mother's going to be coming home with a newborn baby.
Bond for Dallas is set at $250,000 cash only. The grief he caused the boy's family and others cannot be measured.
It's just a sad situation all around.
Boy, it sure is. Now, Dallas, it turns out, is a felon, and police have also charged him with an unlawful possession of a firearm. Police are hoping that you and others will join them in assisting the family. If you want to take part, jump on our app or our website. We've got the link for you there. Reporting live here in North County, I'm Rocky Madden, Fox 2 News.
In a Fox 2 News follow-up, 24-year-old Yoshua Dallas is charged with abuse or neglect resulting in the death of a 5-year-old boy from Spanish Lake. Police say Jamarion Delancy was unresponsive when Dallas brought him to St. Louis Children's Hospital. The boy later died. An autopsy revealed Delancy suffered blunt force trauma to the abdomen, resulting in a lacerated liver and broken ribs. Dallas admitted to being the boy's sole caretaker for the last 24 hours.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot to unpack with this rather short story, but let me see if I could do this. I'm going to give you guys a piece of information that I skipped. Yoshua Dallas, who is 24 years old. Let me see if I can get his face back up on the screen for you guys. This individual on the left-hand side was charged November 19th with the abuse and neglect of a child resulting in death and unlawful possession of a firearm. I'm going to repeat that. Unlawful possession of a firearm. There's a reason that I'm reiterating that, because he is not supposed to have a firearm. Does anybody want to take a guess as to why he's not supposed to have a firearm? Huh? Can we get some of our hashtags in there? Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Hashtag stupid is as stupid thugs. Hashtag when you gamble on a thug, you lose. Hashtag no jail time, give them hell time. How many other hashtags do we have? A lot of them. There's a reason I bring that up. He is a convicted felon, and they found the gun in his possession. He is a felon. He is a felon that this mom had around this kid, and that cannot be ignored at all, okay? Because one thing we have to understand is that if we continue to reward criminals, then criminals don't see any reason to be any different, and we don't see any reason to change our behavior in the black community when it comes stupid is and stupid thugs. Thank you. We got a lot of hashtags. They don't see any reason, and they have no reason to change their behavior because they're being incentivized. We're having a lot of our women, a lot of our sisters that are going out there and procreating with these criminals. Okay? It doesn't mean that you can't redeem yourself after being a criminal, but what I am saying is that if you do something like this, that either hurts someone, kills someone, hurts a kid, abuses a kid, anything like that, then at that point, your record, your background, your jacket, your rap sheet can and will be used against you in the court of popular opinion, like the AFC. So in a case like this, I am absolutely right for judging this man because of his record to say that he is a horrible individual. He's a thug. He's a damn criminal. Okay? Let me ask you guys this. A child who can't see and a child who can't hardly walk. What did this child do to this man that was so bad that he needed to hit him so hard in the stomach that it caused his death, ripping his insides, his intestines, his spleen, his liver, breaking his ribs? Matter of fact, let alone the fact that he's disabled, even if he were just a normal, let's just say normal. Normal is the correct term. But let's just say he's a normal kid Normal kid. What could any kid do to deserve this? And if you ask me, I say there is nothing that this kid could have done to deserve what he got. But let me address something that one of the people in the chat said, because I thought this was pretty poignant. We had a person in the chat said, those darn white cops, weren't they defunded? Someone say something now. I'm going to point something out to you guys. First and foremost, in order to go get these criminals, we have to have somebody on our time, on payroll, to go get these dangerous felon criminals. I want to know what citizens out there are going to be the ones that are going to go wrestle these criminals down and risk their lives. You know what? It's usually not that many, which is why we generally don't have that many people that volunteer their safety and their life to be police officers. And on top of that, the fact that you're talking about defunding the cops, which means you will have less incentive to go get these people, less incentive to apply for these jobs, and less likely to do the job up to the standards of a police officer when you're saying, I know you were getting paid this amount of money, now we're going to pay you less, but we want you to do the job the same way, if not better. But let me ask you guys a real question before I get to the point of talking about these police officers' color of their skin hue. Let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys that are listening to the sound of my voice right now, if you work a job, if you have a company, if somebody told you that your company was going to make half as much money, but we want you to put out the same amount of product, put out the same amount of services, put in the same amount of energy into your company, would you continue to do that if you were going to make half of what you were bringing in? Or how about this? If you were working a 9-to-5 job, if you're working for a company, working for anybody, whether you're working on a salary or making payroll, if somebody told you that they were going to cut your pay in half for your job that you got to get up and wake up and go work on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, how many of you guys would do your job with the same amount of vigor, the same amount of thrill, the same amount of energy if somebody told you, okay, well, we're going to have to cut your pay because we don't have the money anymore. So we got to cut your pay in half. So whatever you were getting, cut that in half, but we still want you to take care of your family the same way that you were before, and we still want you to show up on time, and we still want you to have the same amount of responsibility. How many of y'all would be okay with that? Because if you wouldn't be, then why would you ask for police officers that you continue to call and harass and bother, like, hey, cops, we need you to do this, we need you to do that, we need you to do this, we need you to do that, all day long. But you want them to do their job the same way. But why can't we understand that what you give out is what you will receive back? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you? Or am I wrong for bringing up Bible quotes right about now? Maybe I am. But let me say this. I'm glad. Oh, also, let me address the race thing. Why they talking about how many racist cops are out there? Huh? Y'all have heard that in the media before, because that's not my opinion. I think the cops are cops. They're individuals, they're humans, and I treat everybody based on the merits of their actions. Let me say this. I judge people based on what they do, not based on their color. And no, I don't think all cops are racist. No, I don't think we need to defund the police. But it's funny how we talk all that stuff about what the police do and don't do when they go out there and risk their lives to save us or rescue us from a situation, or do something that we just simply don't want to do ourselves with regard to putting ourselves in legal jeopardy if we were to take the law into our own hands. These police officers that help this family raise that money and help this family go at least see about this kid and go arrest this felon, they did all of that in order to try to make this world just a little bit of a better place, and to try to make it a little bit easier on the mom. They raised $50,000. And I want to throw something out there before I close this story that maybe some of you didn't even think about. You ready for this? Some of those same police officers that help put the word out there, spread the word, and raise that $50,000, some of them don't even make that in their salary. Damn. But I digress. We'll bring that thing up another day, and I never miss an opportunity to talk about things that I feel like are important that will help our society. Again, I'm going to say this. We have to stop messing with thugs. If you, ladies, and I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all just happen to be dating somebody who has a criminal record, just got out of jail, don't do it when you got kids. If you got kids, don't do it. Okay? You've already made your bed, lay in it. Okay? Start getting background checks. And these people need to prove themselves in society. Prove themselves that they're going to be law-abiding citizens. Prove themselves that they're going to be fathers and good role models. They need to prove themselves. And why don't we, my ladies, I know my ladies in the chat understand this, but why can't my ladies out there in society understand that we got to start raising the bar? I think you ladies are awesome. I think you deserve a lot. And I think you deserve better than settling for the black sticky shit at the bottom of the barrel. Be the cream of the crop. Deserve better. If you know that you're better, you have to do better and you have to deserve better. And don't put your kids in this type of danger for any reason at all. Okay? I want to thank you guys so much for listening to my words and my thoughts. I hope you listen with an open mind and an open heart. And I hope that it matters, and I hope that it can change somebody's life. There is absolutely no reason to put your hands, feet, or other objects on these children whatsoever. Don't spank them. Don't hit them. Don't be abusive to these kids. You don't even have to yell at these kids. We got to start parenting from here. The power of the mind is a very powerful thing. Use this, your heart. Use this, your mind. That's how you be a proper parent. It's a mind thing, okay? From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the AFC podcast, where we advocate for children first. And I want to say this to that baby boy. Let me see if I can get his picture back up here by himself. I don't know if I have a solo picture of him right here. This little boy right here. Want to wish him an RIP. He deserved an opportunity. We'll see you guys on the next story.